welcome back to my channel. Don't know why I'm doing all these hand gestures. Long time no see. And it's been a little bit crazy since I last made a video, but you know, this is not news to anyone. We're all going through it, but yeah, anyway, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a video on my first year of university. So for those of you that don't know me, and this is your first time on this channel, welcome. Hi, I'm Anna. And I've just finished my first year at Salford University. And it's been a bit of a weird one. It has a slightly unconventional end, you know. I finished it on my laptop, sat at my desk at 11 o'clock on a Thursday morning. And then celebrated by, quite frankly, getting back into bed. But, you know, still had quite the year before all of this happened. And basically I'm just going to do kind of a Q&A type thing today, basically talking about how, what I learned in first year, you know, how first year went, and some advice I have for anyone starting first year, either this year, next year, 4 years in the future, whenever you have found and are watching this video. But yeah, first things first, just want to say, if you're new, make sure to hit that subscribe button down there, and also like this video if you enjoy it. But without further ado, let's get on with the video. Okay, so we're just going to start off with some questions. I've got them screenshotted on my phone from Instagram, so I put a little question thing out, a couple actually, out on my Instagram story, so follow me. Expectations compared to reality. Now this is actually a really good question, because I feel like everyone when they start university has some sort of expectations of what it's going to be like, who they're going to meet, they're going to have hundreds of friends, blah 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 blah. And to be honest, actually, I think my expectations of university were way off from actually what it's turned out to be. Not because of all this Miss Rona stuff, just like in general, like even from the start, like I thought that I was going to really struggle actually to meet people and start talking to people and get friends, but actually, to be honest, I surprised myself in the fact that I actually did make friends quite quickly, and that was like people in my flat, I guess because I'd been talking to them a little bit beforehand, as well as people on the course. The one thing I will say is, if you are starting university this year, is to get in those group chats. I know that most universities will have big Facebook groups for their whole, like the whole new intake of students going in, and from that there are quite often group chats. And even if you're nervous about joining a group chat with strangers, I say do it, because there are so many people actually that I met in the first couple of weeks that I'd already spoken to online, which actually made it easier to kind of talk to them in person, because I felt like I already knew a little bit about them. So definitely join those group chats. Another expectation I had was it being like all drinking and parties and all that in the first few weeks, which to an extent for some people it was, but for myself, not so much. If you don't know me, I'm not a massive going out drinking person, contrary to what it might say on this channel with various vlogs, but I'm very much more of a flat party, house party kind of gal rather than a night out person. Now this did change later on in the year when I came quite impartial to a trip to Fifth in Manchester, but that was later on when I was forced out, but that's a whole other story that I will tell a little bit later on. But yeah, I guess my expectations in some sense were like spot on. Like the expectation of my course was bang on. Like I really enjoy it. I mean, there are points where it's a little bit like I want to rip my hair out, but I feel like that's kind of a thing with all lectures. Another expectation was that 9 a.m.s would be easy. Like everyone goes, oh, 9 a.m.s, and I'm sat here thinking, I used to get up at 6 a.m. for sixth form. Yeah, well, when you get to uni, 9 a.m. feels like 4:30 a.m. in the morning. So yeah, 9 a.m. suck, but you have to go to them. Go to your 9 a.m.s, kids, especially when, like me, you get really unlucky and your second semester, Monday to Thursday, you are in 9 a.m. every single day without fail. But yeah, expectations to reality, it very much kind of depended on what my expectations were in what areas. So some of it was bang on, some of it was way off. Next question. Has first year influenced you to change the way you do something or start something? Now, I really wish I could say yes. I like yes, but I'm still not great at it. So like in terms of starting something, like starting an essay, starting some work, I'm very much leave it later than you should kind of gal, which I don't recommend. If you do get a big essay, start it early, do your research early, print off the readers, do the readers, because sometimes it can get to a point when you're searching through, about to do your essay, looking for that one reader from week 2 or something, and you get to it and you can't find it because it's been moved or it's not working, and then you get stressed. And also, don't write your essays the day before they're due in, because it's not fun when all your friends are in a flat together and you're there but you've got your laptop out and you're stressed writing an essay. Don't recommend it. But yeah, like I think first year has definitely influenced the way I will go about things next year, because there were some points this year where I was cutting it a little bit fine, or submitting an essay without bibliography, which is quite possibly the stupidest thing I've done this year. So yes, first year has definitely changed the way I approach things. Yeah, definitely. Do you like cheese? Thank you, Brooke. I'm lactose intolerant. How did you find your production workshop teacher? For those of you that know me, production workshop was not my favourite module at the time. In hindsight, it actually was a really useful module, and I got a 2-1 in that module. 2% off a first, but that's not the point. Yeah, he was nice, but he was a character. Would you recommend joining a society? Now, I could talk for England about this. I could sit here and make an entire video about joining a society. But the short answer is yes. Yes, yes, yes. Yes. Absolutely join a society. Even if you're not going to first year, you're going to second year. If you can join a society, do it. Do it, do it, do it. I mean, I think the society I'm in is somewhat unique in terms of that it is a theatre company. We do meet 2 to 3 times a week, so I was getting to know these people quite quickly and seeing a lot of them. The one downside I can say, and I don't want to say this, but you've got to find a balance, because there were points where I would maybe prioritise society things over my work, which I shouldn't do and which you shouldn't do, and I have learnt and won't be doing that next year because that led to some fun situations for me. But anyway, but yes, short answer, if you have the opportunity to join a society, do it. What's your favourite thing about first year? Now, this is going to sound really weird, but I think something that's unique to first year that was a highlight for me is living in halls. You know, living in such a close proximity to all of your friends and kind of being able to go and see them at the drop of a hat. Like literally in my case, going up a few floors to, you know, or in another building just to go and see my friends is something unique and probably is one of my favourite things about first year. Did you struggle with mental health at all during the year? Yeah, there were a couple of points this year where I didn't have a great time, but you know, I had some problems with people in my flat, which was quite stressful at times, so that made me feel a bit bleh. And there were points where people would all be going out and I would be very much quite happy staying in my room with an Uber Eats. You know, there are people to talk to. If you're in a society, you've got social wellbeing officers, and a shout out to Vez, our social wellbeing officer, has been a huge help for me this year in particular, talking me down, you know, when I've been going off on one. Quite often, quite a frequent thing for me. But yeah, there are people to talk to, and if you are struggling and if you think you're going to struggle, you know, there are always people there. Like I've said, there are so many people you can talk to, whether that's friends on your course, friends in societies, people in your flat. Like, yeah, there is so many people to talk to. Do you have any regrets about first year? This is something I've touched on a little bit already. Like in Freshers Week, I actually didn't go out once, and it took me until semester 2 to actually go like out in Manchester. Like I went to the pub a couple of times and I went to the SU a handful of times, but like going out it actually took me until January. So one of my regrets would definitely be like not going out as much. And I say this now and I can almost guarantee that I will still be a bit like, oh, in second year, but like, yeah, one of my regrets is not going out anywhere near as much as I could have or should have. Did you do your work and leave yourself plenty of time, or did you do it last minute? Now that's from my friend Georgia, who knows me very, very well and knows the fact that I very often would be writing an essay at 3:30 for a 4 PM deadline. Actually no, I've never been writing an essay that close to the line, but I have been submitting one at that time. Yeah, like I've said before, I'm not great at submitting things or finishing things early. I must admit, since doing university at home, I actually have been submitting things earlier, but I think that's more because I've got all hours of the day where I can just sit in front of my laptop and get work done. But yeah, don't be like me. Do work, actually spend time doing it in little bits rather than taking long stints sitting in your room at your desk just typing until the early hours of the morning, which is what I did a couple of times. But how long can you last at uni before shaving your head? I'm not going to shave my head. Okay, so I've got one last question, and that is, how different is it to sixth form? This really depends on what you do at sixth form and then what you go on to do at university. So one of my friends who does, say, a politics degree or something could have a completely different take on me, who does a media and performance degree. So, and also their experience at sixth form as well. So like I've got friends that did all A levels, and then you've got me who did all BTECs. So for me, it was the atmosphere and the way that things work is definitely very different. But in terms of the type of work you're doing, in my case, it wasn't actually hugely different, because I was doing creative subjects for BTECs and I'm doing a creative degree. So it very much depends on what you're doing at sixth form and what your course is. Okay, so that's the end of this video. I just want to say thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. And just to end the video, I'm just going to put together like a little montage thing to show you my first year at the University of Salford. So I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it, and subscribe if you're new and if you want to see more of this sort of content. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. Bye. Stay to it.
Charlie, your mum's not really clapped. So that's
you had flowers in your hand, we were all chasing phantoms. Baby, you would hold them still and I'd grab on. Yeah, well, if you're scared of the dark, let the run down street lights be your stars. And then picture swings in the park, and I'll swing with you, sing it. I know all these friends now, I no longer hang there. Good morning. It's no use living if you're already dead. It's not worth saying if it's already said. Even if it all goes believe it if you want to. So keep your eyes on the road and your head in the stars. Follow it down the road. Just leave it
Although I fully look like some mum with her camera out.
just get a quick pic.
next time. I hope I never
So yeah, we're walking to Jack and Emily.
spending time with you is all that I wanted. I'll go back to when you were small, burning all our favorite records on the CD. We were splitting headphones and to a soundtrack. Get lost in. Sing it with me. It's no use living.
So we finished the show.
It's not worth saying if it's already said. Even if it all goes over your head. Believe it if you want.
we be drinking? Uni, sir.